When an image is formed in front of the retina and behind it, the conditions are respectively termed as. So, taking a look at this image just for reference of how the eye works, you have your retina in the back of your eye, which is where vision is developed and how we process the image of what we are seeing to the brain. And this question, when it is asking about these conditions respectfully, this process of the image being formed in front of the retina and behind it are refractory errors. So this question is asking us which condition these errors are respectively. So for being formed in front of the retina, as well as the condition of being formed behind the retina. And we could best answer this question by just reviewing what all of these terms mean. So let's review what hypermetropia is. Let's review what myopia is. Let's review presbyopia. And then we know that the question will have some combination of these three, and we will try and figure out which one is related to in front of the retina and which one is referring to behind the retina. So starting with hypermetropia, let's break down this word. So we know that hyper means over or a lot, so increase, and then metro, think like measurement. So it's like an over measurement, over vision. So it's kind of like the word you may have heard, farsighted. So far sight. So this person may have trouble seeing near. So trouble with near, but they are good with far vision. Myopia is the opposite of hypermetropia, and this would be nearsighted. So nearsighted, so they could see well up close, but they have trouble with distance. So trouble with distance. So if something's very far away, it will be more difficult for them to see it. So just separate these terms. And then the last term here that we need to identify is presbyopia. And presbyopia is related to older age, and this has to do with the natural age progression of vision. So difficulty focusing close-up objects related to older age as the eye progresses. So we could call it just older age vision. So now that we know the differences in these terms, let's break down what this question is referring to when it's referring to an image formed in front of the retina versus behind it. So for this question, presbyopia is just a natural age progression and not necessarily related to the placement of the image in terms of the retina's role in vision. So therefore we can eliminate the options with presbyopia. So now between being in front of the retina and behind it, what would be the order of myopia versus hypermetropia? So if myopia is nearsighted, it has to do with objects being close to the front, and we're having trouble with distance vision. So therefore, when this question is asking which is in front of the retina, it makes sense for it to be myopia because this has to do with near vision. And therefore, option B starts with myopia and ends with hypermetropia, because hypermetropia, it makes sense for the image to be behind it because this has to do with far-sighted vision being better. So hypermetropia here, and therefore option B would be the best choice for this question.